What's up, guys? We just got done at the 2022 World Two-Stroke Championship presented by Wiseco and Fast House. It was a good day here. Welcome to This Week in MXA. This video, we are talking about this rocket ship of a motorcycle that I got to ride, 150cc GasGas. This thing started as a 125. We boarded out. We got the 150 cylinder kit from KTM. So 150 kit on there, sent it over to Pro Circuit. They bored it out a little bit more. Actually, didn't bore it out, but they actually did bore out the carburetor. So it went from a 38 to a 39 in the carburetor. Pro Circuit suspension. I left the air forks, WP Exact air forks. I'm actually a fan of them. We left those on there. Luxon triple clamps on there. FCP engine mounts. Long story short, this motorcycle was a lot of fun to race today. 44 horsepower. So if you guys don't know, KTM has the fastest 125 in the two-stroke class, in the 125 class. That thing hits the dyno at 37 horsepower. Then you throw in that stock 150 kit that you can buy from KTM, that bumps it up to 40 horsepower. Then you bring it to Pro Circuit, you ask for the Josh Mosiman spec, 44 horsepower. Last year I was at 43.7. This year when we bored out the carburetor, we got over 44. This thing was a beast to hold on to. A lot of fun racing here at the Wiseco World Two-Stroke Championships. Track was brutal, but it was actually really fun, and the moisture was really good as well because it was overcast this morning. They were able to keep the moisture in the dirt. So a lot of fun racing today. I raced two classes, Open Pro and also the Pasha 125 Open Pro class as well. And first, and talk about the Open Pro class, I went 6-5. I was battling up there, both motos. Second moto, I definitely saved more of my energy for the 125 class. But then talking about that Pasha 125 class, riding on this extremely fast motorcycle. First moto, whole shot, made 150 bucks from Pasha and those guys on the whole shot bonuses. Whole shot that first moto and just pulled a big lead right away. And then middle through the race, I got a little tired. I made a couple mistakes and got into some lappers. Justin Hope got on me. He is a fierce competitor. Blood, sweat, and tears trying to beat that guy on this track many times over the years. We've raced since we were just little kids. And I held him off in that first moto. It was so much fun. And coming around the final lap, really thinking about what am I going to do over the finish line. I was thinking just be calm, cool, and collected. It's just the first moto. But man, everything came out. I was just ecstatic after that first moto. Fist bumping, hugging, high-fiving, good times. Second moto came around. Not as good of a start, surprisingly, and that was all me because this bike is extremely fast. And I was third, fourth on the first couple laps, up to third, and then I pressured Justin Hoft and Ryan Surratt, who were first and second, all the way through the race. 20-minute motos here, so I did 4 20-minute motos today. Gnarly day, but a lot of fun overall. And I say this is the fastest 150 in the world because I don't know any other 150s that have hit 44 horsepower. They might be out there, but you guys also got to think about it. How many guys are building up 150s full tilt and making them as fast as they possibly can? There's not really that many races around the world where they're racing 150s like this. The World Two-Stroke Championship here, this is one of them. But the Dream Race at Washougal, the 125 Nationals that Villapoto did a couple years back when they did a 125 exhibition race during the Nationals, those were 125 classes. The EMX 125 class over in Europe, that's a 125 class. So correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know a faster 125 or a faster 150 than this bike, leave us a note in the comments. Every dyno is different also, so this dyno on Pro Circuit's dyno might be different than it is at Twisted Development, might be different than it is at XPR dyno, but 44 horsepower is very impressive, super fun. I had this gut seat cover. It's got the wings and it's also got a bump helping me grip the bike and hold on. So overall, a lot of fun today. If you guys haven't checked out our full coverage video of the World Two-Stroke Championship, check it out on our YouTube channel and our website. Trevor Nelson, been running around here taking photos and videos. He did a great job today. And all right, so let's get a little more into the details on this 150 engine that the GasGas has. I'm gonna do another one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get a little bit more in depth to the details on this 150 engine kit from Pro Circuit. So as I mentioned, you can buy the 150 kit from KTM in their Power Parts catalog. It's just a one-part number. They give you everything you need for this motorcycle to make your 125 into a 150. It has the same transmission as the 125. So with that, the 48 tooth rear sprocket is actually stock on a KTM 150. Also note, GasGas doesn't make a 150. They only make 125s, but we took that KTM big bore cylinder kit, put it on this bike. This is actually the same cylinder kit that we ran last year at this race, and it was extremely fast last year and even faster this year. A little bit of a testimony for you guys. I was running a 51 tooth sprocket over the last couple weeks while riding this bike, especially at Fox Raceway where the track's a little bit tighter than it is here, not as wide open. I was hitting third gear in the corners on this thing. It was incredible, like, and still pulling through the corners. Like normally, if you guys know 125 two-strokes, 150s, sometimes you're downshift the first gear to really get a drive out of the corner, second quickly, and then you're holding second on a little bit longer. This thing, the power band is ultra short, so it definitely takes a skilled rider that's shifting a lot, and that's something that was a challenge for me. I raced the stock GasGas 252 stroke and the Open Pro class with a pipe and silencer and some upgraded chassis parts, but the engine was stock. That one you have to shift a lot on, but this one, I was going 6th gear down the start straight. That I've never really, I don't count gears very often, but I don't ever hit 6th gear anywhere. So before the uphill, I'm downshifting to 2nd gear, then click to 3rd as soon as I exit the corner, and then clicking to 4th at the top of the hill. So you got to shift a lot on this thing. But basically the backstory behind it, this is a 150 kit. Mitch Payton got all in it, and he didn't tell me too much of the details, but you can read about it in a future issue of Motocross Action magazine where we'll break it down a little bit more for you guys. But Mitch Payton worked on this thing. Schnikey, Mike Tomlin, he was Justin Barsha's mechanic at Factory Honda, and he followed Justin Barsha all the way through until Barsha went to JGR. That's when Schnikey stepped away, and then he joined Pro Circuit as their R&D technician. So he's a mastermind behind these engines, and he does a great job. So I also had a bet. I'll tell you guys now. I didn't tell you before, but I'll tell you now. I had a bet with Mitch Payton that if I won today, both classes, that I would get to race a factory bike at the last round of the Nationals at Paulett if he had a spot. And he said yes to my challenge so easily that I was like, dang it. I wish I would have said like top 3 in one of the classes and winning in the other, or like top 3 in both classes, But hey, I got 2nd overall in the 150 class. I think 5th overall in the Open Pro class. But Mitch Payton was pretty excited about me racing that thing. So maybe we can work out another deal with him and try to get on a factory bike this summer. Overall, a lot of fun racing. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Motocross Action, we're all about testing, riding, racing, and covering the latest news and what's going on in our sport. This weekend, it was the Atlanta Supercross, but to be honest with you guys, I've barely watched it. I watched a little bit of my brother racing in the heat race, and I heard how he did in the main event, but haven't watched too much else because we've been so busy here at the World Two-Stroke Championship going wide open. So another testimony just to how fast this bike is. I was pulling Hoft, and I was pulling Ryan Surratt up the hills and down the straightaways, so I could visibly see how fast it was, and I had countless comments from people around the pits talking about, that's a fast bike. So even Carlin Gardner, my good buddy, said, you won the race just because of the bike. So it was a good time today. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting us at this race, and we got a lot more fun stuff coming up. We got new bikes coming out very soon, some exciting stuff that I think you guys will be interested in seeing. Two-stroke stuff, new two-stroke stuff. I'll give you guys a hint that it's exciting new two-stroke stuff, all new. So that's going to be fun. Also got a couple trips to Europe and more races coming up. Thank you guys for tuning into this video, and we'll see you in the next one.